We're live. I'll be right back. Hey, bye. Got to get my demon hammer that I left over here. It's my backup that I keep in my boot. I talk a lot about demons. That's true. And of course, it's poetic. It's a metaphor. And, demons manifest often in the real world. And you can punk out to them or you can do your best. Here's my best today. It's a new poem for those of you keeping track. Where are we? We're at On Cush in Eugene, Oregon. Hallelujah! That's right. This is a weekly open mic free poetry reading at Cush Cafe in Eugene, Oregon. We are live stream on YouTube. You have 7 minutes. You go over that, we kick you off the stage. That's the rules. Other than that, have fun. We do not edit for content. Say whatever you want. I don't care. Shedding Skin by Chell. Shedding skin hurts. And we need to stop the pool now. Thank you. Please. Please. Thank you. Shedding skin hurts, nor is it easy. In fact, everything you know will fight what is not known. Change is a cup of pennies wanting to be a dollar bill. Fight, push, squeeze, strive, kill, defend, delight at the piercing pain that spells the words to the greatest sentence you will ever speak. I am me now. Which is grow, which is you. The pain is worth the payoff. The risk is worth the reward. And only you will know how far you have come until that skin is slick, shiny, shimmery, and visible to everyone else. At last, that which is inside is outside. That which is inside is outside. And for a while longer, you are free. Until the process begins again at some point down the road. Thank you. The words to live by. Well, we're not messing around tonight. We're going straight ahead with the poetry. Who's up next? Oh, we got Knitting Emily. Emily's going to come up here and knit her words together. You're what? Well, you can rebut when you get up here on the mic because I want everyone to hear my gaff. What are you doing?
That would be crocheting.
Crochet. What's the difference?
Different needles, different stitches.
Tell them the truth.
That is the truth. I taught myself how to do it, and therefore I'm very proud of it. Thank you. All right. Poem number 1. My partner has a headache. A tornado in your head, growing larger by the minute, whirling, throbbing, pounding, filling your skull with pain. As I hand you a Tylenol and snuggle into bed, I imagine it shrinking, smaller and smaller, giving refuge for your brain. Smaller still, only the size of a pebble, it begins to glow. Shrinking inward, it implodes, a supernova, dispersing light, illuminating, radiating, a white glow, healing energy, transforming pain into comfort, warmth, love. I let it wash over my body, reaching my points of pain. You wrap your arm around me, I melt into sleep, comforted by thoughts of your headache dissipating.
Give me some medicine now.
Body fatigue. Bowling balls dangle from my knees. My head is a brick. Arms spaghetti, weak and rubbery. Eyelids droop like broken window shades. I think it clear in my head. Click-clack, I type it out. A puzzle of letters appears on the screen. Pieces of words, out of order, must be put back together. I drag myself to finish, then gravity wins. I succumb to my bed, giving in with the hope that sleep will fix me. And home. Late at night, the sounds of a passing train dance in the distance. Alone in this house of my youth, memories haunt and tease me. Some are good, others are weights upon the book of my past. I look up, stars dot the ceiling sky. But the constellations are missing. Orion and the Big Dipper torn down in an attempt to remake this room for guests. I know the walls still hold that rich dark blue that covers up drawings and stains from my childhood. I am home here, even with the changes, and if only for a brief moment.
Thank you for telling the truth. Awesome. I thought you were going to say something totally different when you said bowling balls hang. I'll leave it there. I see a critter in the house. His name is Porcupine, otherwise known as Porky, otherwise known as this guy.
Porcupine!
Wander well, little warrior, and get yourself turned around, as all the horizons look the same, but the sky is always different. A lot of the little critters keep their distance, but you must be kind to the curious. Don't blame them for others' past mistakes, even for their own. This may be the only fun you'll get for a while. We're all scared and cold and hungry, especially in the night. If you can recall what you're told, you'll be fine. Hope is the morning sun. The green grass makes you dance and play collect. The game is not so serious when you allow it. You can do anything if you allow it. We don't go far enough most of the time, and we get bored, and it runs out. You'll conserve and study the thing, trying to understand. They have secrets you ask for. What you whisper back for them is barely coherent. What is whispered to you is barely understood, and what is yelled is barely considered. Sing with the swallows, be little bears, barter with bison, cater the cows, and humble those humans. You've seen the ends of caves in the plateau, and that deserves as much respect as courage gets. You killed, you cried, you prayed, you offered, you buried, and never looked at all the same again. You sacrificed your former self for this privilege. You know the values are the same. Build your tools. Those little machines make the processes easier and more complicated at the same time. All those little gears spinning and clicking and ticking in sync, but slips and ripples throughout the machine's innards. Chipping one chips another. A machine that allows failure and perfection is corruptible. A machine that replaces its broken gears is reliant. A machine that can fix its gears is education. The constant is only the new, and the old is lost. You're older than you think, burning your bones with the midnight oils. Put wheels on your unbreakable machine and build a road to the new plains.
That was a long, well thought out poem. And I still maintain that Porcupine is getting this all from the natural world out there. Talk to the bison. Yes. I've been in deep caves on the plateau. This is good stuff. Moving on, we got a sharp crowd. Focus tonight, right? Coming up next, Stephen Blue. Here, Stephen. What up?
Just Slither me slowly. Reflections of softness boxed in a bash. Circles now broken, bound to make hash. Smoke it, drink it, walk it in a shoe. Tiptoe it softly. It's the least you can do. Save but don't spare it. Recline till it folds. All this audacity breaks all the molds. Can you compare it to anything sound? Reverse declare it. Hell-bent, unbound. You know you can relish it straight till you drop. Finesse it and quiver from bottom to top. You slip down in passion, encumber it all. Amaze me and faze me, your hunger won't fall. Do my words arouse you, confuse you, conspire you to desire, define you, incline you? What do they inspire? Bookmaker, bookmaker, bind me a song. Find me a few shots that I can prolong. Bring them in bunches, coddle it close. Slither me slowly till I overdose.
Oh, wow.
That's my new favorite Stephen poem.
Late night jam session, LA, California. Downshifting, why is everybody stopping? It's 11:30 at night. This lane will get me there quicker, a truck would say, if it could speak, as it slices its way in front of me like a freshly sharpened knife. Is that a dog pound in the back of your pickup, or are you just overly protected? I want to shout to that man with the wolfhounds in his truck as I punch the FM buttons as if wishing the right rhythms with my index finger jabs, searching for a song to soothe this momentary anxiety of another unexpected stop and go off-hour freeway traffic jam.
Yes!
And for a jam session, I'd rather hear rhythm and blues than Nutra-Sweet synthesizers. Gutsy, straightforward, and to the point. Unpretentious, and you know where to stomp your feet. Give me a danceable, clappable, three-part harmony with a low-down bass beat anytime. Except maybe when I first wake up in the morning. Just in the nick of time, you come on the radio as the traffic starts moving again, and I press through the gears while I hum along to your bluesy guitar. Passing the barking dogs, I look over to the pickup's driver, who peers out from under his crinkled straw cowboy hat. I wonder what soothes him in a moment like this. I want to shout, hey, how about some Howlin' Wolf? But I pass.
Woo!
Very sharp, very sharp, very tight, very rock and roll. The kind you can stomp your feet to. Oh, Mo. Mo is entering through the poetry slot. What you got for us? She don't know. She's gonna make it up as she goes. Stuff.
Just
The paper's blinked off.
yeah, right. There's more than one way for things to come apart. 100-year-old branches that snapped in February, heavy from snow, then rain, then the freezing. They tried to hold on and simply could not bend to the ground without breaking off at their weakest point. Or the tear in my favorite white linen blouse that doesn't show because it's on the seam and it's covered by lace. But I know it's there, so although it's invisible, it nags like an angry hangnail, which is roughened just enough to leave me vigilant. That tree down the street would not stop lifting away from the earth, yanking the reluctant sidewalk along with it, unleveling the ground. Now there's an execution notice nailed to it. We all predicted overextending would be its undoing. Slowly, slowly, as water drips from the gutter next to the porch and creates flattened lunar landscapes, holes that fill and empty over and over, so determined to leave a memory, rewriting, rerouting until there are too many ways out. So silly, my sister's dogs who got sprayed by skunks way too often, or Gus, my neighbor's dog, who refused to grasp the secrets of porcupines. Loving and unloving are stubborn and dull-witted students, forced reluctantly into learning. Of course, those angry words got scrambled like our Sunday morning eggs, mixed with things needed to be said and those better left un. Too much salt, a little less pepper, as if a bit of this or a pinch of that could change an outcome. We have come together, then come apart, so many ways, sometimes willfully and other times unintentionally, but seemingly so surprised if there is simply no memory in breaking hearts, which we know all too well is quite untrue. Why would there not be more than one way for things to come apart? We love in dirt and sweat, and with sight and scent, and with reading and writing and erasing. It is a messy truth, not at all unexpected, that coming apart is as natural as a breath.
Yeah. Very strong. Well, the great things about things coming apart is that you get to put them back together in a new way.
Any way
That's
you want.
called evolution. Any way you want from Porcupine. Who else is going? How do you put them back together?
Spit.
Spit. How about as needed?
ABC gum.
ABC gum. Rubber cement. You can huff that too. That's always smart. All right, here we are, here on the Cush. All right, we're huffing glue already at the 7th poet. Who is our friend Michael. Michael, come on out here and share your heart. Michael. That's right. Michael. Woo.
Michael.
All right.
Life, woman, life, man. Compassionate man, compassionate woman, passionate woman, passionate man. Receiving man, receiving woman, gratified woman, gratified man, heart of man, heart of woman, tear of woman, tear of man, fear of man, fear of woman, lust of woman, lust of man, forgiveness of man, forgiveness of woman, empathy of woman, empathy of man, divinity of man, divinity of woman, cherished woman, cherished man, in enchanted man, enchanted woman. Nature's woman, nature's man. Young man, young woman, old woman, old man. Tolerant man, tolerant woman. Wise woman, wise man, ancient man, ancient woman, sacred woman, sacred man. Death, man, death, woman.
Woo!
Yeah!
All right! Michael! Michael! Woo! Michael!
Michael, going all the way back to the original chant there. That was a good chant, Michael. When all else fails, we have poetry. When everyone else fails, we have poetry. When you fail, you have poetry. When you want to succeed and you fail, you have poetry again. What does that mean? I don't even know. You all brought game tonight. Thank you for letting me hear your awesome poetry, one and all of you. I like to make this one wait, so let me see. Let's see, that was Michael. So I'm driving down the street today, and I was thinking about James Otter.
What?
Yes, stay.
You get off the stage.
Ah, that's right. Heckleback.
Yes, stay.
Heckleback.
Give me a peanut. Where are my peanuts?
Give us a poem.
Okay.
Okay.
Love me them peanuts. Here's some more peanuts.
Well, back in my day, everything came in cans. Pencils were $15 a piece. Unfortunately, for most of my life, we washed our hair with conditioner. None of the cans were labeled, so every time we went to the can mart, it was Russian roulette. And can openers were pre-packaged in larger cylinder containers, or as we call them around here, cans. Back in my day, spaghetti was made out of real spags. These days, people pre-can their meals. Back in my day, we didn't have refrigerators. We just waited till summer started. Back then, summer was when the weather was at its coldest, and it rained broken glass. I rolled a large can up the highest, most needle-covered mountain in existence. That's how you were born, son. The stork dropped a huge rock on my canned house. Ever eaten canned ham? I think I have, once, when I was a toddler. Strip clubs did not exist, but strips of club soda did. And guess what else existed? You youngins don't know a thing about industry. Why, back in my day, the can factory canned in a larger can, and nobody understood how it worked. They would can peanuts, pants, criminals, handlebars, urine, pickles, green beans, spoiled beans, has-beens, beans. All of them lived in a can. Cancer was sold in, you guessed it, a can. My family made the greatest accidental meals. One time we had dog food, boiled socks, and peanut butter for breakfast. Of course, without our screwdrivers, we wouldn't have our delicious canned juices to drink before school. Kids these days will never understand the quality we had back then. Nobody ever argued or fought. And when the sun came out, we would stare deeply into its white burning eye. Well, assuming our canned glasses can protect us from, what that word for when all the ugly things go away. Fun. No sight. No sight. That's right. Back in my day, everybody wore tin shirts before a lightning storm. Whoever was touched first was given the greatest honor of becoming a can and joining the great natural order of can and man and can and man and man and can. Well, back then we worshipped a god who had blue hair and pliers for teeth. Oh, how things have changed. I remember the first wheel. It looked an awful lot like a garbage can or a regular can. And we said, yes, we can you? Then we were canned and processed and recycled into fruit juice to feed the spontaneous masses. Them's were good days. These days, kids and adults have the same haircuts. My days, men had mullet hawks, women had cans, kids had guns. We were men. That's all you need to know, whipper crackheads. With love and respect, McMufferstein.
Whoa!
Wait for it. It's a good one.
Real can, man.
It's a good one. Yeah, I got a good one.
Let's hear it.
James is a can-do kind of guy.
Slap my knee right off.
That's right.
Ouch.
That's the low fruit I particularly like to gobble.
Yeah.
If it's low, I'll eat it. If it's high, I have to think twice and get a ladder and shit. God, that's too much work. Give me the low fruit. Low fruit is the juiciest kind of fruit. That's why it's low. Eat it up. Take the low fruit. Who cares? That high shit is for mountain climbers.
Fruit those fun ones.
And what?
What?
We're gonna do it right now. We're gonna do 7th inning stretch because we're already at that point. I know it's going quick tonight. I like it. Oh, haven't been a bad poem yet, has it?
Oh,
Has
never.
not been a bad performance yet. has it?
Never.
A lot of people taking charge and doing their stuff. That's what I'm talking about. That is an honor to the room. The ghost of Cush, I said, bring us the good stuff tonight. Sit down. Oh, wait, I didn't do the song. Well, that's okay. You'll forgive me. Come on, Andrew. Come on, Heat Miser. Come on, Karen Top.
Drop somebody.
Nice cow.
They gave me this shirt for free, so I put it on.
I
I don't know if that's a thing you should really do, but it has the state of Oregon on it, and it says I'm home. And then on the back it says some shit about my
I
school.
should come with those.
Boy, that's
bags.
nice.
They were giving me like school, were they?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, I got
Poem.
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 I regret to inform you,
Damn.
being human does not mean only one thing. As if ratified with a capital H, from whence the species procreates and indoctrinates the miscreants into a bourgeois spelling contest to earn literacy and therefore gain a decent heart. Humanity not exclusionary of missing limbs or deformed face, pug nose, cleft lip, or midget porn. Is neither, either, or meant to be poor, to be rich, to live long, to die young, ugliness not sin, prettiness not virtue, pleasure not blessing, pain not curse. Clay on the potter's wheel, the potter made of clay, neuroplasticity. Tore needle through underside of the elbow or forced shaft into an underage sacred place, or hacked the neck to decapitate an infidel, dehumanized sociopathy, a human condition. Whether inhumane or not, let humanity judge. But whether these things are human, let humans never judge. Like a quarter, only aware of a quarter of its worth. The retard drools on himself, on the city bus, and utters gibberish. To be human is not only to be one thing. Therefore, to love, therefore, to see is not limited by specialty forks or eating with your hands. Columbus would name the natives savages. Columbus's tribe would exalt him unto God. Human, both of these. Fleeting wisps over the water on a cold wintry night, trying to freeze but can't find the right temperature to make change stand still. Are there degrees of heat to this human spark? Who judges which is brighter? I am not one thing. Therefore my darkness shines. If humanity is buoyant enough to carry you, it is enough to carry me. I pray thee, can you tell me what nirvana looks like? May it appear as a drunk stumbling toward you. He is yours. The species sloughs too many off to be humane. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Second poem, The True Question. I have found myself questioning the notion of the true self and true will, even as I am inclined toward what may be described by the vague adjectival use of true, to modify concepts such as self and will, as if one could also speak of the true human being and true love and true inquiry, as in the true question of the true value of speaking of a self-will human love question that is true. And I suppose by true may be implied that it is fundamental, rudimentary, elementary, self-evident, while simultaneously remaining astounding, elusive, complex, something worth looking for, something worth questioning. If you will find or have found yourself, or if what you are looking for is really there, or if what is there changes colors, becomes prickly or gooey, follows a story along to its conclusion, and does not know what to do with itself after the end. As the mindless mind spits up thoughts into the atmosphere and fills the cup merely because it is there to be filled, and drinks merely because there is the ability to drink. Don't you put me in that fucking Skinner's box. I've heard some never come out of there. Still, the existential treasure hunters over a span of finding find that what is found is consistently lost. And what is got is consistently gone. And change continuously erupts at seemingly musical intervals, sometimes disrupting and settling comforts like dust upon my consciousness. I fling wide open my doors and disperse the garrison to make a way inside, where my gallery may be inspected, hanging in me portraits and landscapes, amazed at how the frame affects the pictures. And yet framing is part of showing. So I will show you art in many frames. In fact, in a way, all that anything requires to be art is a frame, or to be said in a certain tone of voice, or merely to strike you. The question is the self-inflicted wound, gashed into the mind that couldn't be resisted. It was there to be asked, so we asked it, and after asking, there was no going back. The gash speaks and spews upon everything we cannot answer as of yet. But we are looking for the fundamental, even if that is change. And we are looking for the beautiful, even if that is death. And we are looking for love, even if we can only feel inside that it is true. I ask my questions and open wide to you. Comment to me on what you see. I am interested in what can be best shown to be true, given every possible view. Thank you.
Whoa!
So I've studied a lot of castles in the old world, in Europa. And of all castles, I like keeps the best. They are small castles, and therefore 3 times as badass as a fortress. They need to be. Studying fortresses from Scandinavia to Portugal, I discovered that the best keeps, the most badasses, and the ones who had been occupied by enemy forces the least, always had an easy door you could come through. You can get through that thing with a little work, maybe 2 days of siege. And when you got through that door, you were in some new kind of hell. You were in the fortress's belly, and the fortress was hungry. The fortress had slots to shoot arrows at you, chutes to dump tar on you, burning hellfire upon you for getting through that easy front door. It would take you 2 fucking weeks in an army to get through the second. Who's got that kind of time or energy? Weakness is strength, if you've got strength inside. I don't know, you get it.
Even badass is weakness.
So that's what that babble from Andrew is. Of all castles, keeps are the best. They're wicked.
Go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
We've got a new reader. Her name is Courtney. All right, isn't that a nice reception?
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna stand here for a minute and look at them. These are nice
This is
people.
the biggest crowd I've ever been to.
Biggest crowd. They're a nice crowd though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So tell them the truth and don't hesitate.
okay,
Be yourself.
all right. Poem. Lights flicker in the distance, stars are in a trance, cars drive by without resistance, a daily routine mangled into forgetful. Oops.
It's all right.
You're doing great.
You take your time. Start again.
Sorry, I'm nervous.
You're right. All right. So take your time.
You're fabulous.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you.
Wow.
We love
You
you.
got all this support here.
Okay. Lights flicker in the distance, stars are in a trance, cars drive by without resistance, a daily routine mingled into forgetful assignments, minds elsewhere, focused on the unfocused, blurred inception of description, a sense of exhaustion from today's determination, the completion of midweek education, tests of knowledge accumulation, daily sighs, thoughts of coming performance, a sense of intense confusion, turbulence vibrates, there is revelation, within heated palms of condensation. This great transpiration, the steady pace, a route ready, for inspiration and upcoming race, a download of incoming information through tribulation, a mountain trudge becoming inclination of spontaneous expectation,
a future prediction. The light of perception is bright within the night. There's mental revolution. New thoughts increase by multiplication. Old thoughts decrease by division. A cranial battle of addition and subtraction. A mathematical relation. A mental equation found upon ideas of eruption. Free from corruption of gated institution permeated with limited communication, a way of no return, no aid to escape from isolation, bars blocking views of future realities, a sight no one wants to see, a want no one wants to have, a strange notion, composition with limitation, lines of intertwined rotation and reflection, a sight for all creation, a final light flickering nearby, a ray of hope streaming into vision, a dream fulfilled, clocks tick with anxious elation, a day with a foundation has come to an end.
That's the hardest one, buddy. Look at him. That's right. Jeremy, come on up. Can't wait to hear what Jeremy has to say. He's been on a hot streak lately. What's he got tonight?
Yeah.
A little something.
Andrew, Ann, freaking lightning, everybody's lightning. And maybe everyone's pregnant after this, because this is called Pregnant. You listen to the right poems, you leave something in your tummy that never goes away. I'm setting myself up for a downfall. You ready to get fucked?
Yeah! I'm already over the table.
Okay, enough of that. I'm sorry. Andrew, stop it. Stop it. It's not what you think.
Oh, yes, it is.
Alright. Fuck it, I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna Dark room, quiet after midnight, the sound of a cricket outside, muted by the motel walls. Treyu is finally asleep. He hasn't slept in 2 days. Marie's eyes are open. There are lights on the ceiling, barely discernible as if they were emerging out of their black birth, and in no hurry, green, red, blue, warm, swirling lights, and colored like coconut milk being poured into coffee. A play of space and time and consciousness. Marie, she's in a place of gentle rising, of change, and even optimism, just a little optimism. Gradually and even suddenly, a sharp pang in her belly, a wrenching pain. Lights disappear as Marie sits up in bed with a groan. You okay, says Trey, without waking up? Just going to the bathroom. Marie slowly gets out of bed, swallowing the pain that keeps punching inside. She gets into the back of the room. Light on there, into the bathroom, door closed, and out it comes. Not much at all, just water and saliva, yet her stomach continues to push and protest for some minutes. Marie manages to keep the sounds of her sickness muted by holding a towel over her mouth as much as she can. Finally, the nausea subsides. Marie walks slowly before the mirror and looks at her belly. She rubs her belly with her hands, turns sideways, makes her belly fat just to see. She's not happy or sad. She does not reject the idea of having a big bubble. So she starts brushing her teeth, slips back into bed with her hand on his hip for reassurance. She makes a gentle groaning noise that means I feel you close. Marie looks to the ceiling, wants the lights to come back, and the ceiling turns into a vision of herself being carried into a hospital by Treyu. She's ready and too weak to walk. She's in pain, yet she's happy. Marie shakes her head and wonders at her own elongated imagination. She moves and sits at the end of the bed. Looking up, she can see the lights begin to form again, and she commences to engage in a conversation. She says in a barely discernible whisper, I ask you to keep us safe now, okay? Let us go all the way. We are doing what you know, what we should do. We know what we should do. We know it's right. You know it's right. Protect us from harm. At the very least, protect Treyu, okay? His heart is pure. He's learning.
And if we become pure together, that would be something I did not think possible. Yet I'm not afraid. Whatever shall be, shall be. Whatever comes to pass is best in your eyes. Still protect him. Let him not get hurt. Don't let anything happen to him. If we will be taken apart, and let him go and do more things, okay? You love us, I love you. You're in my heart, I'm in yours. You hear everything I say. Then Marie feels a hand on the right of her shoulder. She turns to see Treyu. His face is next to hers. I hear what you say, says Treyu. Treyu kisses her on the cheek, and Marie's eyes move down. She's a bit shy now, a bit shy. No one ever before has ever known or seen her talk in the night. The sound, the low octave sound of humming and the bright light coming in through the shades of the motel window, so bright that the entire room runs into day. Treyu and Marie both concerned, both knowing what this is. This almost white light lasts for a handful of seconds until the light dissipates and moves away into a fading hum. Treyu opens the door, his body frame highlighted by the still fading light, and he can see just a glimpse of a light moving over the parking lot until it vanishes. And Treyu stands in the yellow light lamp hanging outside the wall of their room number 7. Treyu turns around and looks at Marie. She's sitting up in bed, holding the sheets over her breast, her eyes understanding his. They're in the truck, no one in sight, quiet except for that same cricket. Treyu starts the engine, the back tires pulling out of the parking lot and onto the dark road lighted by their headlights, and the engine sound growing quiet as they move into the pitch black until silence. That lasts for barely a second, as the sound of another engine approaches, a smoother and sharper sound. Finally pulling in from the opposite direction, pulling in and stopping not far from door number 7. The car is a police car. Inside is a deputy on the radio. Arriving at Desmond Motel, said the deputy. 4:22 a.m. Possible suspects inside the motel. Investigation in process. On the road around 10 a.m., Treyu was sticking his head out the window, wind in his hair. Marie driving, wearing sunglasses, a little serious smile, sunlight flashing upon her face as they drive under a canopy of trees somewhere in the Pacific Northwest of Washington. The music, they're in a trance of the music. Two souls lost, finding a way to reason and meaning, finding a path loaded with pain, fear, chance, vulnerability, epiphany, complete understanding, and the unknown, and most of all, love. Not a selfish love. The kind of love that makes sense out of the most chaotic scenes. The music changes, and they cannot remain still now. They are dancing with their upper torsos, as much as torsos can dance. Treyu is even using his legs somehow while sitting in the front seat. He rolls down the window, sticks out his head, then his tongue. Marie says, "You love her, puppy dog." Treyu looks at Marie and says, "Whatever you do, don't slow down. Stay steady." Treyu quickly climbs out the window and onto the roof of the car. "Treyu," says Marie. Shades, sunlight changing quickly over the car, traveling under the reaching trees. Treyu slides down under the windshield, disrupting Marie's view. Marie sticks her head out the window. "I can't see, damn it." Treyu stands up on the hood, spreads out his arms, and leans into the wind in a trance. Marie has already let off the gas. When they hit about 20 miles an hour, Treyu realizes and drops his arm and looks back at Marie through the windshield, and she hits the brakes. Treyu flies off onto the asphalt, rolling to a stop, onto his back and smiling. He looks up through a huge hole in the trees, revealing the deep blue sky. Then there appears Marie, where the hole was, looking down at him. She's not angry, she's just concerned. Treyu starts laughing. He's laughing, and Marie can't help but smile. She's not going to tell him that she's pregnant, though, because she doesn't know who the father is yet. So how much time are we at? Are we close to 7?
Close.
All right, here it goes.
Sounding good?
Yeah, it's going to be fast. Switching gears. It's called control. Controlling my peace of mind does not mean peaceful all the time, does not mean everything is clear, does not mean I know everything, does not mean I will be prepared no matter what. What it does mean is I know exactly what to do right now, following the feeling of truth somehow, knowing well that anger, greed, or disagreeing with what is happening is not going to serve us well. In this feeling that shall not become heavy if I keep it true, this discernment and adjustment constantly until getting used to adjustment. Imagine getting so used to adjustment, to change, to being living liquid, that without change, craziness sets in. And for good reason. This experience is never static, will not be solid, cannot be still, and will explode if need be. That being crazy is almost okay, so long as that collapse of anger and the like do not get in the way of my peace of mind. People will change, I will change, everything will change until change is okay. And then it will keep on changing with the one constant that feels like this event is a learning, is a finding, that stillness is knowing that this movement is perfect in what we are doing, perfect in what we are doing. And it's crazy, and it's not tired very much, and it's not trying to hold on to things that will slow it down, and it's not trying to pool up somewhere for many things to gather around and rest. No, this finds rest in movement. And a little stillness in that movement. Crazy, yes, be it so. Thanks for listening.
Well, after that first one, Jeremy, I was hoping you'd stop just so I could come up here and say, I need a cigarette. You know what we got tonight? Before our last reader comes up and sings us out, I want to say just a short little bit. You know what we got tonight? Yahtzee. What does that mean? All the dice were on sixes. Boxcar. I will stand tonight's reading up against any poetry reading in the land. Bring it on, United States. We will meet you anywhere you come to us, and we'll challenge you to a duel.
Yeah.
From New York to the shining span of the Golden Gate, we take you on. We challenge you. We're ready, Cush, to stand toe-to-toe with any open-mic poet in this goddamn country. And I'm serious. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. That was awesome. Now, to top off awesome, we've got some awesome sauce. Come on out, Karen.
Karen!
Our in-house bass expert. Here, you take the mic and I'll plug you in.
Thank you. So, tonight is a magic night. The moon is in a transitory place.
Excellent.
And she is sitting at my elbow, drinking in the essence of the coffee-filled dream. And I am here in the beginning of the end of a journey that will never, ever end. But I am here. Where is here? Who am I? And what am I?
You're Karen and Karen on Cush.
Well, I do not know what I am. I'm a protoplasm floating in a beer can. And drink me deeply, swallowing me whole. And I feel your belly, gas expands throughout me. And I fart out my essence to your name. There. Now, if I am not alone, and I am not dreaming this whole thing, and this is not my dream, but somebody else's pretenses, that this is not who I think I am, where I am standing, sitting, squatting, going somewhere fast, at no speed at all. I have no idea, but I do know there's something here. The fingers of time have extended and raptured my heart, as if I were a three-legged buck, missing the legs that I have left behind on a journey that seems to go nowhere and end somewhere on toilet paper.
Why not?
When I sit and squat, I pee my life, and my life is like a waterfall and an ocean. The sea is perhaps God's piss.
Amen.
Perhaps it is God's tears. Perhaps I am not on the toilet of time. Perhaps I am not sitting between your legs. Perhaps I am not here at all. Maybe tomorrow, when I wake up to the vestures of whatever remnants I have left in the sleep that I have collected, the little hours of dancing light, before I pee in my pants trying to make it to the bathroom, well, that's another story. But just the same, when I continue are a very vested dream. A dream that goes here and there and everywhere and stands still and transcends every moment. I look at you, you three-legged bug. You can only move from one side and not very quickly. It seems to me I am your mother, and I have given birth to a very important person. This person is wingless and formless and timeless, and it says to itself, I am me, and I am not alone. So I'm going to sing a song.
All right. Aaron on bass.
Yeah.
How does it sound?
I got you.
I've been playing for 5 weeks. No, I gotta go to a sound.
Well, you got your plug out. Plug it in. There you go. Whoa. Whoa. Now we got you.
Once upon a time, looks so fine in your time, and you. But I'm not Bob Dylan, so I'm gonna tell you about that. If I spend my money on you, I might think that I was in a sewer of some sort.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been enjoying Carry On in Cush, brought to you live by Cush Cafe Venue. Keep going, Karen. Sing us out, sister. Play that.
I don't know why. I said it's fine. But I'm just passing through. You're sticking by. I'm just writing the song as I stand here. So be here now. Don't go away. Be where you are. Right now, this very moment. There's nothing conclusionary about it. It's just an aspect it's worth thinking of. And your madness, your greed, your passion, your mind. You are not here at all. That is all an illusion, a confusion, and the madness runs on and on and on.